Good evening. Good evening. I love the early birds. All right. Good evening, ladies. Good evening. Good evening. So glad to see y'all this evening. Let me fix my curtains back here. Y'all know I'm the neighbor that's always out my window. How are y'all tonight? I am so glad to be here with y'all tonight. The chat will be open all evening. So any questions that you have, any comments, any amens, all of that is welcome. Feel free to engage in the chat this evening. So excited for so many of you all to be here. Make sure to let me know where y'all are popping in from. I know that I have a lot of women on the East Coast, have a lot of women down south, but I would love to hear who all is on the West Coast. Where are y'all popping in from? I know, Sonia, I know that you are on the West Coast. Good evening. So good to see you here tonight. Good evening from Ohio. Yes, yes. Colorado, Baton Rouge. Hey, Baton Rouge. Hey, we have some friends who just opened a co-working space in Baton Rouge. Today was their grand opening, as a matter of fact. Very good friends of ours. Mississippi, all right, Mississippi. You right next door. Eden from Philly, South Carolina, New York. Good evening, ladies. Yes, you saw that. Make sure that you go visit them. The name of their co-working space is called Legacy. Hey from Virginia. So good night, everyone. Good night, good night. I definitely don't want to keep y'all up all night, but I mean, if y'all trying to stay up, we can stay up. For those who do not know who I am Yaya Smith. I'm the Feminine Success Coach. I'm so happy to be here with y'all tonight. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a really good time. We're going to talk about femininity and the importance of femininity and how it can support you. And I think that I know that we will disrupt some of the ideas that you have been raised to believe about femininity, about being a woman, about being able to have it all, about being able to live out your dreams and what that actually means, what that can actually look like. Hey, I see so many of y'all are from down south. Y'all know I'm a Southern girl as well. So it's good to see my Southern ladies. It's good to see my ladies from New York, from Florida. I used to live in Jacksonville. So Florida has a special place in my heart. So tonight, I'm going to answer all of your questions. So whatever questions you have, make sure that you are putting them into the chat. Make sure that you're asking your questions. You didn't show up here just to be here, just to hear me talk. You came here to get what you need to support your life. I'm also going to share some results that my clients have gotten, some results that you all will get by joining the Feminine Success Tribe. The Virgin Islands have entered the building. Good evening, my symphony. It's so good to see you. So good to see you tonight. And sharing results. Some of my clients are here, so you will see them in the chat as well, sharing their results, sharing their testimonials. And it's always good, in my opinion, to see other people who are living out what it is that you want to see, what it is that you want to create in your life. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it. I have a little screen share for y'all. A little screen share. Let me see here. Now, I will not lie and say I'm the most tech savvy person in the world. My clients would beg to differ, but I am not. So a screen share is about as much as we gonna do over here, all right? So tonight we're gonna talk about how you can unlock your feminine power to flourish in your life, in your love life, and I didn't add it here, but also in your work life. I think that 2020 has really shown a lot of us that when it comes to your work, when it comes to how you are spending your time, the desire for freedom is real. wanting to live a life where you are the person in the driver's seat, where you are the person who says how you spend your time, how much you can earn, the kind of impact you can make with your work, it has brought those feelings up in a lot of women and men. What we have seen is that it's not really fun when someone else is telling you how to live your life, what you can do, what you can have, what you can be, how much time you can spend, when you can take time off to spend with your children. And I think I can resonate with that story because about 10 years ago, that was my story. My oldest son is 10 years old, and becoming a mom really helped me to realize that I wanted to own my time. I wanted to be the only person I had to check in with when it was time for me to take care of my family, take time off, take some mental health days. I know if you are living in 2020, unless you're living under a rock, you've needed a few mental health days this year. And so I decided for myself that I would step into my dream. And my dream at that time was to be a stay-at-home mom. It was to love up on my husband and my children all day, every day. And I got that dream and realized that there was more to it than just that. That I did not feel the fulfillment that I thought that I would feel. It's not that my family wasn't enough for me. It's just that I knew that God had something more for me, that I, by using my gifts, could be a greater benefit to my family, to my community, and to society as a whole. And so I stepped into that. It took me some time. It took me about, I would say my oldest son was about 6. So it's been about 4.5 years now that I have been fully in it, just in my purpose, no apologies, no questions asked. And that has landed me some great things. That's landed me on the cover of a magazine, as you can see here, sharing what femininity means to me, what it means to the world, and why it's important. It's landed me on CBS. So, as an expert in my field, it's landed me and my husband, in essence, as couple goals, which has been fun. I can't say that we don't have a great relationship, but I also cannot say that I've never had a terrible relationship. That has helped me to realize that it was time to show up in a different way. It's landed me in all of these wonderful places and many more, actually. This year has been a great media year. But these are some of the outlets that have featured me and featured my work. And one of the things that I've realized is that when you step into your dream, when you step into the vision for your life, the opportunities are absolutely limitless. So many of you have reached out to me and said, Yaya, I want to inspire people. I want to live in my purpose. I want to add value to my household. I want to be free. I want to do work that I love and make money doing what I love. Um, and you absolutely can, is what I'm here to share with you. You do not have to be the person who um, has to wait 10 more years, 20 more years before you step into your dreams. You don't have to wait until your children are grown, until you get somebody's permission, until it all makes sense before you step into what God is calling you to. All right. So, what is feminine success? I've gotten this question so much, so often. And the best way to describe it is that feminine success is a system. All right. Feminine success is not just an idea, it is an actual strategy, it's an actionable system. It's the idea that you don't need to think, work, or act like a man in order to be successful. We've all been taught this model of masculine success that says it's a dog eat dog world, that says that if you want more, you have to work harder. And I'm here to tell you that you don't need to grind or hustle or struggle to have the life that you want. Life in and of itself will present enough issues, will present enough struggle, will present enough of that on its own. Feminine success is a system that proves that you do not have to choose the grind. You do not have to choose the hustle. You do not have to choose the struggle. The world has enough struggle of its own. Why would you choose to add more struggle to your plate? Or not step into a model of success that brings less struggle and more ease into your life. And so, what made me really decide that I was going to step into it, that I was going to give it my all, that I was going to share what I knew with women, was realizing that the ways the world tells us to show up were not working. If we look at the stats for women, especially women of color, we see that we are dying at earlier ages. We're getting sick at earlier ages. We're burning out. We're experiencing mental health issues, physical health issues, depression, anxiety at a much higher rate than the rest of the world. That we have been positioned to be the backbone of society, but when we need support, we look around and there's no one to reach out to, or the support is not supporting you. It's not effective. And so seeing that the world tells us, go to school, get good grades. I don't know how many of you here were A honor roll students, how many of you were the top of your class, how many of you were the top of everything that you've ever done, but that's my testimony. The world tells you to go and be the best that you can be, to go and get your degree. And then once you get your degree, get another degree. And once you get another degree, get another degree. And once you do that, what ends up happening? You're in a workplace where you have to fight to make $1. You're in a workplace where you have to fight to prove that you are valuable when you know that you're the best one there. When I realized that 64% of women are unfulfilled in the work that they're doing, that means out of every 10 women, more than 6 of them are unfulfilled. Means that more than 6 of them are getting up and dragging themselves to a job every day. They are jumping out of bed, as a woman told me today, jump out of bed. They're going to something where they have to jump out of bed. They're not able to ease their way into the day, set a tone on their day that really promotes them having the impact that they want, making the income that they want. They're going to something and spending most of their time in an environment that does not value them. I knew that I had to share what I know in order to help women stop that cycle. Perpetually jumping through hoops. That's absolutely it. I cannot tell you how many women I know get degree after degree after degree, get certification after certification after certification, only to be told that you're not good enough. That Jim over here, who has half the degrees you have and is half as qualified as you are, gets to make twice as much as you. I couldn't sit around and watch it happen, knowing that I could help women with a solution. So one of the first things that I decided for myself was that I was not going to jump through those hoops. I just wasn't going to do it. I did not at the time know what I would do instead, because many times society only presents you with one solution. Go learn more. If you go learn more, then you can earn more. But then you learn more and you're still not earning more. I had a woman come to me just this past week, good friend of mine, who 2 years ago, as I was building my business, we had the conversation about her stepping into entrepreneurship. She wanted to create a program for children. And so I was giving her the blueprint. Like, here's how you can make that happen. What does she do? She says, Yaya, I believe it, but I'm going to go and get my master's. I need to get my master's before I can feel confident enough to do that. Okay, no judgment here. So a couple weeks ago, she came by. She's gotten her master's. She's working in her field. She said, yeah, I'm in my field and I've done all the things and I'm being paid such and such amount an hour. Not bad pay for her field. And she says to me, you know, my pay rate is at the top of my field, but it's still not enough. So what has happened is she's reached this ceiling. And what's so interesting is we go through all of these hoops just to hit a glass ceiling. But the truth is you can bust through that ceiling, or you could just not walk into that building in the first place. You can take another route to get to where you're going. So I have a client. I'll share one of her testimonials with you all. It's my client, Gina. Wonderful, wonderful woman. I love her so. She's in my coach certification program. She's also in Feminine Success School. She's in probably about 3 programs of mine. And the reason is because once she found where the solutions were, she wanted more and more and more. So Gina says, for over a decade, I sat in my cubicle missing my children. On my breaks, I'd imagine the life that I could have had if I had made different choices. Now, this testimonial was actually quite long. She talks about how she she would put her headphones in her ear and listen to stay-at-home moms on YouTube just to give herself a sense of hope. That she had a dream for a business where she supported new entrepreneurs with going from being stuck in their business to actually starting. That she has such a spirit of play. If you ever met Gina, if you know Gina, if Gina is here, I know some of her feminine successes are here. Gina is like one of the batteries in our community. She is so full of life and joy, but she was sitting in this environment where none of that was being leveraged. None of that was being valued. And so she posted this testimonial a couple weeks ago. She said, I looked up and realized that right now I am living out everything that I wanted to become. I'm so glad that I didn't continue to abandon myself. Now think about you. Think about all the gifts you have, all the skills you have, the talents you have, and what you would be doing if you knew how to leverage your gifts, your skills, your talents. If you knew how to leverage the things that are hidden inside of you, but that seem to not make sense to the rest of the world, for you to bring them out. When we think about femininity, femininity is what you intuitively know. It's the thing, it's many times it shows up as emotion because we don't know how to maneuver it, because we've never been taught how to navigate it. And so when it's coming up for you, because the world is so full of masculine logic, which there's nothing wrong with masculine logic, but it needs to be balanced with feminine intuition. Because the world is so full of masculine logic and it only teaches us how to use that masculine side, then when the feminine comes up, we get frustrated because it's such a strong feeling that we don't know what to do with. So Gina is a great example of a woman who was unfulfilled in her job, and it wasn't the work that she was doing. And she loved her coworkers, but it was the fact that she knew that there was something inside of her that was growing bigger than the box that she was in. And she could not stay stuck, but she needed a strategy to get unstuck. So Gina joined Feminine Success School. She joined Feminine Success Coaching, actually, the coach certification program. She joined my coach certification program. She started her coaching business. She was able to leave her 9-to-5 and go full-time in her coaching business. This year, she's homeschooling her 4 children. She's working in her business. She's supporting corporations with infusing play into their employee care programs so that they can increase productivity. Think about that. Think about this woman who has a playful spirit, who is full of joy, who is full of light, who loves to craft. She told me once, she said, I used to bring all my craft supplies to work. And when I had time or when I was on a break, I would just sit around and craft because it gave me a creative outlet. Now she's able to take those same skills and support corporate America with them. Amazing how you can turn around what is inside of you and make it work for you. Yes, that is so creative and innovative. And I know each and every one of you here has something creative and innovative inside of you as well, but maybe you just don't know how to leverage it. Maybe it does not make sense to the people around you. Maybe it doesn't make sense because you went to school and got a degree for something else. And why would I not be using my degree? Well, answer this. And maybe some of y'all have paid off your student loans and you're living debt free. Congratulations. I applaud you. But the majority of Americans who have gone to school and gotten into debt, working in their field has not supported them with eliminating that debt. Maybe it does it piece by piece, year by year, over a really long time. But what if you could use your gifts and skills and eliminate that debt quicker? Because you set how much you get paid. Because you put the price on your talents, on your value, on your skills, and not someone else. I'm just presenting another option, okay? And so, some people say, okay, well, I'm not going to go into corporate America. I'm not going to get a job. I'm going to marry a rich man. I'm going to marry a husband who's a provider and who, because of his provision, allows me to live the life of my dreams. Okay. All right. I had those same ambitions. I had those same ambitions. I absolutely did. And I got married, and my husband was an amazing provider. I did not have to work. However, I was raised in an entrepreneurial household, and my husband was raised in a blue collar household. And because of that, our ideas of provision, our ideas of lifestyle were totally different. Yes, he wanted more and he wanted to do more and be more, but he had no model for it. And so let me just give you a stat on what's going on in relationships right now. 75% of women, and these are not things that have come out of my head, you can Google it. 75% of women are unfulfilled in their relationships. Over 78% of women, just bringing it into the real physical side, are not pleased in their sex lives. So if you're not being pleased there, how can you be fulfilled in the relationship? Fulfillment is a feeling of fullness, a feeling of completion, an environment where all of you is being taken care of. 75% of women are unfulfilled in their relationships. Over 50% of divorces are being initiated by women. Women who thought, you know what, this marriage is going to be my golden ticket. This marriage is going to change things. But I'm here to tell you that if you don't start the work on the inside in order to attract a relationship that is fulfilling, the relationship will never fulfill you. It just will not. Because no man and no marriage can fill a hole that only you can fit into. I'll say that again. Not a marriage nor a man can fill a hole that only you fit. So understand that if 75% of women are unfulfilled in their relationships, which is a sad statistic because relationships are so wonderful when they're done right, and 64% of women are unfulfilled in their work, which is also a sad statistic because work is what we are designed to do. Before God gave us husband and wife, he gave us work. So we're not supposed to be unfulfilled in our work. We are supposed to do work that we love, that inspires us, that energizes us, and keeps us motivated to do more. I have so many women so often ask me, Yaya, what keeps you motivated to do what you're doing? My work. My work keeps me motivated. The work is the motivation. When you are doing what you love, the work is the motivation. All right. So don't mark up, y'all. Take a screenshot so that you can mark it up yourself. Okay. So 75% of women are unfulfilled in their relationships. I have a client. I'll share her testimonial next. She might be here. Her name is Veronica. Veronica was a career woman, still is a career woman, very successful career as a therapist. Was super single. So Veronica, by her own definition, was super single. She was the woman who was tired of men playing games with her, of men only wanting one thing from her. And so she decided, as most women do, that she was going to focus on herself and on her work. What many of us don't realize is that when we have a difficult relationship with men, we don't cut men off. We simply move that relationship to our relationship with money. We say, well, this is something that I can control. So I'm going to focus my energy over here. But if you've been around for a long time, you know that both men and money are masculine energy. And so it's not that your relationship with men or your relationship with money is what's off. Your relationship to the masculine is what's off. So I want to share with you what happened when Veronica joined Feminine Success Coaching. She says, I need to share that this powerhouse of a woman got me and my femininity all the way together. So I'll finish reading. I'll tell you a little bit more of her story. She said, I didn't realize that I was struggling to be soft and strong, open to love and submissive in the ways that support a balance within myself and my partner. It's a whole thing. So after working with me, Veronica attracted this wonderful guy here, Leo, who is her partner. They've been together for over a year now. They are both, he is a body healing worker, so he does body work. She does mental health, and they work together now. Beautiful, beautiful relationship. Veronica, before she healed her relationship to men and was able to attract this wonderful guy, Leo, she healed her relationship with her father via the work that we did. She left her job. She was a school counselor at the time, clinical therapist, and she opened her own therapy practice, which was something that she really wanted to focus on when we started working together. From that time until now, so Veronica and I have been working together for about 2.5 years. She has not had a single time where she has lacked clients. Veronica's therapy practice is booming to the point where her waiting list is always full. Her relationship with her mate is amazing. They complement each other, they support each other, and they're able to grow and heal together. So don't think that this is a situation, because I'm never the coach that's going to tell you that. You need to be completely healed and heal everything that's going on with you before you earn what you want to earn in your business, before you get the clients that you deserve, before you get the love that you deserve. This is not that. Veronica is still growing. Gina is still growing. They're still healing. They're still elevating on their journey. And they're getting the love that they want. They're doing work that they love. And they are feeling more confident, more clear, and are able to be consistent in their lives. Just letting you know. Being complete is a lifelong journey. So I'm never the coach who's going to tell you, you need to be complete before you get to see results. When you make an investment in yourself, you should see results immediately. So Veronica is a private coaching client. And in our time working together, she has been able to heal family relationships. She's been able to heal her relationship with herself. She's also been able to leave situations that no longer fit. And when you think about our makeup as women, we often plant ourselves in places where we're only supposed to pass through. You're only supposed to be passing through, getting the lesson and moving on, but instead you've planted yourself somewhere where you do not fit. And what happens is you end up staying too long, the soil becomes toxic, and your growth becomes stagnant. What's really important, whether we're talking about relationships, whether we're talking about a workplace, whether we're talking about a business, friendships, family relationships, is knowing how to only stay in what fits and how to walk away from what doesn't in a way that doesn't burn bridges. And Veronica has learned how to do that. Much like I used to be, Veronica is a woman who has no problem cutting things off with no explanation whatsoever. I was totally that person. So if you are that person and you're trying to get over that habit, trust me, I understand. I was totally there. But what she's learned is how to preserve what is good in the relationship, but also keep it moving. There's this idea that as women, we have to get rid of all of our baggage, that you just need to drop all of your baggage. Baggage is not helping you. The baggage is holding you back. I have a different approach. I believe that there are some bags in your life that are valuable. Every woman has bags in her closet that she loves. Bags in her closet that that was falling apart 5 seasons ago, and I'm just holding on to it, sticking it in the back of the closet and not looking at it. But inside of some of those bags that are falling apart, there are things that are valuable. And you need to take those things out, but get rid of the bag. Inside of some of those valuable bags that you have and that you love are things that are no longer serving you. And you need to know how to sift through and declutter your bags and keep the things that are valuable for you. And so that's what Veronica learned how to do. And that's what you can also learn how to do. And so we talked about women in their work. We talked about women in their relationships. But there's another level that many women fit. So you say, you know, I'm not going to do the corporate America thing. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do relationships. I'm not even going to focus on the relationship. It is what it is. I'm just here. If it's fulfilling, if it's unfulfilling, I'm not going to give it any of my energy. What I'm going to do, and I might step on your toes here, I'm going to pour all of my energy into my children. Everything I do is for my children. This is for my kids. I'm doing it for my kids. I'm going to be the quintessential mother. I'm going to stay at home with them. I'm going to be fully present. I'm going to homeschool them. I'm going to give them everything that they need. And I'll focus on me later. I'll focus on the relationship side of me later. I'll focus on the side of me that as a woman wants to be loved, wants to be cherished, wants to be fulfilled, wants to do work that's exciting to me, wants to be loved in a way that's exciting to me. I'll focus on all that later. Right now, I'm going to focus on my kids. Well, over 65% of stay-at-home moms are now reporting depression, anxiety, worry, and overwhelm. Why? Because they're serving from an empty cup. Because at the end of the day, if you are not doing things in your life that fulfill you, that excite you, that bring you the best part of you up, that make you come alive, what are your children really learning from you? Especially your girl children. They're learning how to put themselves on the back burner for everyone else. They're learning that their dreams are not as important and don't matter as much as everyone else's dreams. And think about what that really means. We are living in a world today that we can blame everything that's going wrong on the men if we want to, but that's not going to get results. Blaming yourself is not going to get results. However, We have put our dreams, our goals, our ambitions, our thoughts and ideas on the back burner for so long that while the masculine creative side has been totally running rampant and doing its thing, that feminine wisdom that adds compassion to creativity, that adds love to creativity, that adds compassion to the competitive side is absent, and the whole world is suffering for it. You might be suffering for it. You may be in a relationship with a man who's a great provider. He does everything he needs to do, but then he doesn't have the time, the energy, or even the softness to be able to love you right. You may be doing work that is amazing work, but they don't value you the way that you need to be valued. But it's not changing the way that it needs to change. How many people are stuck in workplaces where they're still doing things that they were doing 30 years ago? You're in a company that's being run the same way it was run 50 years ago, 100 years ago. I'm just asking questions, trying to get you to think, trying to get you to see why you as a woman are the missing piece, why you stepping up and showing up is the missing piece in your life and in the world. So, stay-at-home moms. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I know I was there. I was there really early on. My whole goal and purpose in this world is to take care of my babies, take care of my husband, and after that, nothing else matters. I'm happy as long as they're happy. Until I wasn't. Until I felt that resentment. Until everyone was asleep at night. And I was the one sitting up crying with a knot in my stomach and a knot in my throat from all the dreams and all the goals that wanted to come out, but I was stuffing them down because I had told myself that everybody around me was more important than me. My family's entire life has changed. The things that my children have access to has changed. Realize this, mamas. Your children cannot live out their purpose if you're not living out your purpose. There are connections that you will make by living your purpose that your children will need to live their purpose. We say we don't want it to be as hard for our children. We want to make sure that our kids have an easier way to get to where they need to get to. They shouldn't have to struggle the way that we struggled. You're the one who has to make that happen. And it's not by struggling more. It's not by hustling more. It's not by grinding more. It's by answering that call that's on your spirit. Because that shows them and gives them permission to answer the call that's on their spirits. So I have a client who recently joined Feminine Success School this year. Her name is Natalie. She is so awesome, just amazing. I really do have an amazing community of women. And this is a testimonial that she left in August. She said, hey, ladies, I just want to share a few wins. I started homeschooling today. She was virtual schooling. I started homeschooling today, and it was so fun and easy. Imagine that. Imagine saying that homeschooling is fun and easy. At the end, my 10-year-old said, we did a good job, Mom. I like this way better than virtual schooling. That had us stressed out. I have followed through with my happy planner. I check it periodically throughout the day. I try to keep it near me when I'm in a certain part of the house for long periods of time. Today, I felt so much ease and gained incredible confidence in my home life. Today, I ate the frog and completed the rest of my August school curriculum. And I am celebrating myself. Most likely, I'll have the husband bring home some kind of chocolate and I will dance my night away. Now imagine, Natalie is not a mom of one. She is a mom of 3. She has a 10-year-old, a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a baby, tiny baby. Imagine having 2 toddlers and a 10-year-old and being able to dance your night away. Imagine having 2 toddlers and a 10-year-old and being able to build your business. Natalie, last month, I didn't share that testimonial. Last month, she started her business. She is creating her course, and her course supports women who are married to high, top performing entrepreneurs. She's helped her husband build a multi-million-dollar business, and she's helping women who are also in that position, who are holding down the home front while their husbands are building out in the world. Because you have a specific set of issues when that's your story. And because of how she's been able to manage and navigate her home life, of how she's been able to elevate her thought life and how she takes care of herself, she's now able to do work that she loves. Because she's been able to not say, oh, my husband works all day, so I'm not going to ask him to do nothing. I'm not going, no, 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 no. Because of the way that she's been able to improve her relationship, her husband enjoys helping her and supporting her. She just didn't know it until she knew how to communicate what she needed and delegate those needs as well. Because of that, she now has the time to become an even greater asset to her household. So all of these women have leveraged and utilized and continue to utilize the Feminine Success System. It's my proprietary approach. I have trademarked this system. It's my system to help you to elevate all the areas of your life that matter the most to you. We take a 4-part approach to creating success for yourself. So many people will tell you, just build your business. Focus on building your business. Focus on organizing your home. Focus on your relationship. But really, it's like a table. If you only have one leg that's strong on that table, the table is still going to fall. If you have 2 strong legs on that table, the table is still going to fall. Even with 3 strong legs on that table, you're going to have a wobbly table. In the Feminine Success System, we take a 4-part approach to make sure that you are building a solid foundation for your life. We start with your inner environment. That's your thoughts. That's the beliefs that you have about yourself, about what you're able to have and do and be, your confidence, you understanding your value, understanding your worth, so that when we talk about building your business, charging what you're worth, we don't have the problem of, oh, but Yaya, I don't understand why would I charge that much? Each one of these women has invested $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in the support that they get inside of Feminine Success School. And what's so amazing is that their husbands have been jumping up and down. They will tell you themselves. One woman said her husband started dancing when she said, I want to continue in this program, and paid the remainder of her balance. Because their husbands see the value that having a woman who has a firm and solid foundation adds to their home life, adds to their work life. It's real easy for a man to go out and work when he knows his wife is an emotional wreck at home, or unfulfilled at home, or has all of these resentments that are building up over years, over time, all these things that she's sacrificing. And in the moment, she's like, you know what? It's all right. I'll do it for y'all. But over time, y'all know what we do as women. We're not even going to sit here and act like 10 years from now, you're not looking around at everyone around you who has grown, who has experienced the elevation that they really wanted, who has graduated, who's done all the things that they want to do. And you're saying, man, everybody grew but me. Everyone else is maximizing their potential. Everyone else is living out their purpose. What about me? And then the resentment and the bitterness comes in. Imagine being able to grow you while you're growing everyone else. So we focus on that inner environment first. And then we get into your home environment, which is your outer environment. Making sure that you have a home life that feeds your productivity and doesn't have you feeling all over the place, doesn't have you feeling unorganized and cluttered and chaotic. A time management system in place that doesn't have you working all day. and taking time away from your kids. One thing that I love about my business, I can go outside and play tag with my children in the middle of the day. My baby girl can come and say, Mommy, read me a book. And I can stop whatever I'm doing and read her a book because of the time management systems that I have in place. And not only time management, but energy management. So many of us you have your planner and you planning your life away. You got your little checklist, you got your to-do list, but you're drained every single day and you're tired at the end of the day. So we focus on household management, time management, and energy management. And then once we have those two in place, we go into your work life, whether that's your career or your business, doing work that you actually love. I do not believe, and this is just my personal perspective, okay? 99% of my clients are women of color. So I can have this conversation with y'all. Our foremothers did not do back-breaking, unfulfilling, struggle, grind, hustle work for us to still be doing the same things in 2020 with a different name on the paycheck. That is not what they struggled for. If we are going to stand on their shoulders, we need to stand with some confidence. We need to stand doing work that is impacting the world and that is changing the future for our daughters and sons. And so I show you how to do that kind of work without that work taking over your life. I do not believe in being a slave to your business. I do not believe in being a slave to your purpose. God did not put us here to work like slaves. That was the punishment. That was the curse. If you are serious about breaking those generational curses, then the way that you work has to change as well. And so knowing how to do work that is highly valuable, but also that produces ease in your life and ease in the lives of others. That's what we focus on in the work-life portion. And then we go into your relationships. And this isn't just your romantic relationships. While y'all know, I love a good old relationship talk. I love of all the things that I teach. And that's why I save the best for last. Relationships is my favorite part. Helping you to navigate the masculine and the feminine dynamic within yourself, within your romantic relationships, but also within your family relationships, within your brother-sister relationships, within your father-daughter relationships, and your mother-daughter relationships. Helping you to improve all of the relationships in your life, from the personal to the professional. We go through that in the relationship module. And so as you can see, the Feminine Success System is a system that leaves no stone unturned, that takes a whole woman approach to supporting you in your life. And so in those 4 key areas, we focus on 4 key things. We focus on insight, which is the coaching that you get, me looking at what is specifically going on in your situation and what are the insights that you need to level up and change what you have going on. Feminine Success School is a group model, and most of the coaching that I do is group model coaching, but it is the most intimate group model coaching, the most specific and personalized group model coaching that you will find. Every single woman gets specific support. So we focus on insight. We focus on implementation. This is actually applying what you learn. Listen, this is not where you come to have an ear orgasm, y'all. This is not where you come to say, oh, Yaya is preaching. Oh my goodness, she is preaching today. Yeah, I might be preaching, but how are you implementing what you're learning? This isn't a Sunday sermon where you are in church Sunday shouting your wig off, and then Monday through Saturday, everything is still the same. No. We have accountability in our community, and you are expected to implement on what you're learning. And that's why I believe in easy models, because when the model is too complicated, then implementation is overwhelming and it feels like it's a whole nother job. So the next thing that we focus on is impact. How are you making an impact in your life? Understand this. Putting yourself on the back burner to take care of everyone else is not impacting anyone at the end of the day. At the end of the day, what ends up happening when you are serving from a half full cup is that it's not enough. That your children grow up and they say, oh, well, I wanted this instead of this. That you're in your household and you're not feeling appreciated. You're doing your work and you don't feel appreciated in your work no matter how good you are. You learn in Feminine Success how to make impact. The masculine model is all focused on income, all focused on income, income, income. And that's great. We gonna listen. If you are doing all of these things, your income will be amazing. And I can say, because I'm a living witness and my clients are living witnesses. But at the end of the day, are you making the impact that can make you feel good when you stand before your master, your creator, your maker, when it's all said and done? And hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. He is not going to want to hear, well, Lord, here's what my bank account balance said. Or here's what my children did. My kids went and got their degrees. Okay, but what about you? What about that gift that I put inside of you? How did you use that gift? How did you unwrap it for the world? Because that's what I put you there for. The parable of the talents, exactly. It's exactly like the parable of the talents. Each and every one of us will have to give an account for how we used our gifts and skills and talents. What return did you get on the investment that God planted inside of you? You got to answer that. I know when people ask me about motivation, that's another motivator. I don't want to hear, depart from me, I never knew you. I don't want to hear it at all. And so I do everything that I can, and I teach women to do everything that they can to give God a return on that investment. I trust that all of y'all here are believers, so I can talk about God. All right. And then the last step is intimacy. Are you in spaces where you feel safe, where you feel seen, where you feel heard and understood, and you can trust the people around you? You can trust the decisions that you've made. You can trust the steps that you're taking and the moves that you're making in your everyday life. So that's the 4-part system: your inner environment, your outer environment, your work life, and your relationships. And the 4 steps: the insight, the wisdom that you'll get through coaching, the implementation, so that's the action plan and the accountability, the impact that you make, the results of the insight that you're getting, and the implementation that you're doing, and the intimacy. Are you surrounding yourself in an environment where you feel safe, where you can trust? So overall, Feminine Success Coaching will provide you with solid systems to make all these things happen, solid support, so you never have to feel like it's just you and who's supporting you, who's there for you, you're there for everyone else, who's making sure that you live up to your full potential because you're doing it for everyone else. Never worry about that again. But you have to put yourself in position for that. And you also get solid strategy. I am a believer that procrastination comes when we don't know what step to take next. Procrastination comes when you don't trust yourself. Procrastination comes when you don't have a strategy. And so you get the systems that you need to sustain the work that you do, the support that you need, and the strategy that you need as well. And so I'm just going to quickly share a little bit of how this has worked for me. I've shared how it's worked for everyone else. But where did it all come from? Well, because of what I teach and what I have learned and what I implement on a day-to-day basis, I am able to be married to this amazing man. He really is great. I'm sure if you follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, you see my husband all the time. He's an amazing father. He's an amazing husband. He is an amazing provider. And one of the things that we've been able to accomplish is that he has been able to retire completely from 9 to 5 work. So he's been able to also come home and live out his dreams. He's a photographer and videographer professionally, and also now has stepped into the men's empowerment space, helping men be as good of a husband, as good of a father as he is by simply sharing his wisdom. One of the things that has really changed the way that I look at relationships is realizing that we all need space to get to know ourselves. And that if you are spending 8 hours a day in a work environment that does not fully value you, then coming home and you're very tired, you might have a commute, you don't have time to hear yourself, to think for yourself, to see yourself. What I was able to do, my husband in the beginning of our marriage, now granted, we were young, and we were broke. We were not poor, but we were broke. He was probably making in both of his jobs probably $23,000 a year. It was a mess. But I was able to take what he was making, handle the bills with it, and take a little bit at a time and invest in myself. Invest in myself again and again. Granted, because of the way that the tone was set in our relationship, you've heard me say a million times, femininity sets the tone, masculinity sets the tempo. Men set the pace, women set the tone. Because of the tone that had been set, he knew that self-improvement was a non-negotiable for me. So whatever extra was left over was for me to turn what I had into an asset for our family. And because of that, it created freedom for both of us. Because of that, we were also able to homeschool our children. All of my children have been homeschooled from the very beginning. They're all very well behaved. Y'all should know them from the stories. They're amazing children, and they have access. They all know at a very early age what they want to be in their life, what they want to give to the world, and how they want to show up. They're confident enough to express their emotions, even the boys, and to say what they need to say in a way that gets things done. I remember my oldest got into an Uber one day, and the woman told him, I think it was like an older woman, and people are kind of used to just saying what they want to say to kids. And she was like, "You need to put your seatbelt on." And he put his seatbelt on because they are taught, obey your elders. But once the ride started, he was like, "Ma'am, you really hurt my feelings when you said that the way that you said it." And she was shocked. But because we have the freedom to raise our children in the way that resonates with us, in a way that impacts who they are as people, they know how to get respect in the world without disrespecting anyone. I do not teach them that respect is to be earned, because I don't believe in that. You respect everyone. However, you also make sure that people respect you too. And for children to be able to do that, they need parents who know how to get what they need in the world. They need parents who know how to communicate when they're dissatisfied so that they can have that model. Stepping into my vision has also helped me to have the time that I need to take care of myself. I date myself on a regular basis. I go out by myself, with myself, and I'm also able to create spaces for women to learn how to do the same. This image here is from last year's Feminine Success Retreat. If you missed it, I feel so bad for you, because this year we have obviously COVID is hating on us. But this retreat was life-changing for all of the women who were there. Life-changing. Women stepped out of toxic relationships from being there, stepped into healthy relationships from being there. Businesses were started. One woman has published 2 books just from what they got from being in this environment. And that all happened because I said yes to the calling that was on my heart, because I did not ignore what was being placed inside of me. And my goal is for you to not ignore that either, and for you to step into it. So what I'm offering for those of you who are ready is an upcoming class that I'm teaching over 5 days. We're going to go into all that I just taught. All that I just taught, masculinity sets the pace, PACE. All that I just taught about your inner world, your outer world, your work life, and your relationships. It's the Feminine Success Masterclass. It is over 5 days. You get to coach with me. So in those 5 days, I'll be teaching during the day. And then in the evening, we'll have live Q&A sessions where every single question that you have, I will answer. I'll give you specific guidance, specific support, specific strategy to move you forward in whatever area you need support in. We're going to break the teachings down over the 5 days into those 4 key areas. So no need to feel like, oh my goodness, I'll be overwhelmed. Will I be able to use what I'm learning here? Will this apply to me where I am? Because not only will you get the teaching, but you have the opportunity to get live coaching. So you'll have the confidence that you need to show up in the areas of your life that you need support in right now. Maybe you don't need support in the business side of things because your business is popping. Amazing. But you need support in the relationships. You need support in putting yourself first. Maybe you're working yourself to the bone in your business and you need that support to put yourself first. Maybe everything else is good, but you go home and you're stressed out and frustrated because your home life is out of order. You're going to get the support that you need in all of those areas to have the confidence that you need in those areas. You're going to get direct coaching. So that direct coaching includes the live Q&A coaching in the evening. It also includes access to the private community where you can ask any questions that you have. You can interact and engage with the women who are there, and you get access to the replays of those daytime teachings and those Q&As through October 30th. So you get 10 days of access to the replays as well. So I just want to be clear that this is not for everybody. Feminine Success School, Feminine Success Coaching, nor the Feminine Success Masterclass, even though it's just 5 days, is not for everyone. And I am not going to take your money if you fall into any of these categories. And that is, it's not for you if you are the person who uses your circumstances, your obligations, your children, your job, all of that as an excuse not to move forward, rather than the reason you must move forward. It's not for you if you need to be motivated, excited, or inspired to take action and change your life. If not being where you want to be in your life is not motivation enough for you to invest in yourself, to make the time to do what you need to do for yourself, then this is not for you. I am not the person who's here to rah-rah, cheerlead, and motivate you. You have to be the woman who is going to move whether or not you're motivated and who's going to show up anyway. This is not for you if you need permission to take action and grow in your life. I've shared with you guys my story, my husband's story. I would not allow myself to be in a relationship with someone who I have to ask his permission when it's time for me to grow. That's like you saying, you know what, these 20 extra pounds are just, they're hurting my body. I can't move. I can't breathe like I want to. But babe, do you think it's okay if I lose these 20 pounds? If that's you, you got to ask somebody to make yourself better, then it's time for you to start asking some new questions, because anyone that you are in partnership with should see you as an asset, and investing in you is investing in themselves. This is not for you if you feel proud to do it all by yourself and you do not invest in the support that you need to get better quality results quicker. Listen, if you are a DIY diva in every area of your life, and it's a badge of honor for you to say, I did it myself, I don't owe nobody this, nobody helped me, this is not for you. This is not for you, because here's the thing. People have made those mistakes already. People have taken that route already and gotten results so that they can help you. If you are not the person who wants to stand on someone's shoulders and not bump your head on every single obstacle, then this is not for you. It's not for you if you need to be convinced to take care of yourself and prioritize your needs or handle your business. I understand if you don't know how to do these things, but if I have to convince you that you are important, this is not for you. It's not for you if you would rather a man, a job, or a handout to be your plan than standing in your power to be an asset to your own life, to your own family, and to your community. Listen, my coach tells me all the time, a man is not a plan and a job is not a plan. What's your plan? What is your plan? I have known way too many women who have lost their husband. I've had several women just this year who've lost their husband. Several women who've ended up divorced. Thought it was going to last forever, thought it was going to work out. We all want our marriages and relationships to work out. But life is life and things change. I've had several women. A woman reached out to me the other day and said, I've worked for this company for 20 years and they laid me off in a 7-minute conversation. A job is not a plan. God put your gift inside of you to make room for you. And it's time for you to learn how to leverage that gift. Femininity is one of those gifts that we as women have not been taught enough how to use because we've been taught that it's a weakness. But it's time for you to learn how it's a strength. So this is for you if you are ready to truly live your full potential in every area of your life and you want the systems to make that happen consistently. It's all well and good to say, yeah, I'm ready to live out my full potential. I'm so frustrated because I feel like there's something inside of me and I'm just not living it out. And it's cool to step into it. You started it, but did you have the systems to sustain it? Getting the systems to make it a consistent thing. So it's for you if you feel called to make an impact and an income doing what you love and you need the strategy to realize those goals. You can make an impact and an income. You do not have to give away your knowledge, your wisdom, your insight for free. I've shared with you, the women in my community are paying thousands of dollars to be in my community. That is not just by happenstance. That is not just because I decided to set this price and that was that. It's because I had the strategy that I needed to make those goals a reality and to truly be able to show up and serve in the way that makes the most sense for me and the women in my community. This is for you if you are the woman who has or wants to have it all and can do it all, but you're tired of doing it all for everyone else while being the last on your list. So if you are the woman who has all the talents, all the gifts, all the skills, you've done all the things, you've gone to school, you've gotten the grades, you've gotten the job, you've gotten the raise, you've gotten the promotion, but you still feel like I'm still the last person on my list. And all these things that I'm doing for everyone else, I want to be able to do for myself. Then this is definitely for you. If you are the woman who wants to put down your cape, that's your superwoman cape. For those who don't know what the cape is, that superwoman cape that has you burned out, that has you flying all over the place, saving the world, putting out fires all over everywhere. But that fire inside of you has gone out. You want to put down that cape so that you have more time to take care of yourself. And you need to know how to build a better support system and structure to do so. Then this masterclass is for you. So what's included? What's included is 5 days of live high-level teaching. This is not a pre-recorded masterclass, ladies. This is not a pre-recorded masterclass. If I were selling this masterclass at its full value, I would sell it for $7,500 easy. This is 5 days of Q&A group coaching. It's going to specifically support you. So this is not you listening to other people ask questions and hoping that someone asks the question that you want to be answered. This is you showing up for yourself, asking the questions you have so you can get the support you need. It includes bonus content, so you get access to some bonus masterclasses that are already changing lives. Like in the last week, just to see the testimonials, and we haven't even gotten started, has been amazing. You get live training also inside of our private community. So tomorrow I will be doing a live teaching inside of the community, you get access to that. And we have about 2 more before we get started with the masterclass itself. You get 30 days of accountability community access. So the community that you're joining, you get to be there for 30 days, which means that even after the masterclass is over, as you're implementing, as you're taking steps, as you're putting the pieces in place, you still get to ask questions. You still get to interact and engage with other women who are doing what you're doing. You get an implementation and action guide. This is a full guidebook for you to walk through and answer questions and have an action plan for yourself that helps you implement along the way. And this might be my favorite part. You get access to the Pause and Pour In experience. So inside of Feminine Success School, every month we have an experience where a vendor will ship you items. So far we've had a wine and chocolate tasting. The chef, he's a chocolate chef. He shipped boxes of chocolate to every woman and a bottle of wine to every woman. And he got on Zoom with us. He walked us through a tasting of all of the chocolates. He walked us through tasting the wine. We had music. It was so fun. We do this every month, and it's an opportunity for you to unplug from everything else that's going on around you. For those who say, you know, Yaya, I want to take care of myself. I want to take time for myself, but I can never seem to find the time. We build it into Feminine Success. So you get access to that experience. It won't be wine and chocolate this time, but it will be, items will be shipped to your home. We're going to interact and engage together. They're going to walk us through whatever it is that we're creating or tasting or doing. So the full value of this is $24,991, but you're not going to pay that, obviously. If you were stepping into a full program, you might. However, what the investment for this is today is $797. So I don't have to tell those of you who have been around for a while that this is a deal, because you know that it's a deal. It's a steal, as a matter of fact. Most of my coaching, even when I do a short 5-day something, is $14.97, $24.97. But I want to make sure that as we're ending out 2020, it's been a crazy year for people, that you have access to the kind of support that you need to make sure that next year don't look like 2020 did. So I've shared the link for you to sign up inside of the chat. You click that link, go ahead and save your spot. Once you save your spot for the masterclass, you'll receive an email that includes access to the private group. Once you get inside of the private group, introduce yourself. Don't step into the group and just play wallflower and be a fly on the wall. Introduce yourself so that we can know who you are. All right. And once you step inside of the group, you'll also get a separate email that gives you access to the bonus content. Here's the bonus content for those who are like, but what are the bonuses? What are the bonuses? I got you. So the first bonus is a course that I created at the beginning of the pandemic that has earned my clients over $65,000 just during the pandemic. So it's been about 5 months. It's the Create Your Premium Product in 7 Days or Less Masterclass. What I do is walk you through exactly step by step. You don't have to be tech savvy. You don't have to be any of that. Step by step, the simplest way to create a premium product. A premium product is a product that you can sell leveraging your knowledge, leveraging your insight, leveraging your experience for $2,500 or more. Okay? Think about what being able to sell just one product for $2,500 can do for your monthly budget. And then being able to do that ongoing. What would that do for your life? That is how you set yourself up to be able to be free. All right. You also get 30 days access to Feminine Success Accountability Group. And you get the Feminine Success Reset Training, which is a heart, mind, and body course, plus a workbook that supports you with understanding how to truly tap into your femininity from the inside, from your mindset to your heart. Many of us have been hurt. I know I had been hurt plenty of times. And because of that, I learned to be tough. I learned to be hard. I learned to build a shield and a wall around myself because I thought that that would protect me. It didn't. Still ended up getting hurt. And so the Feminine Success Reset training supports you with being able to take care of your body in a new way, being able to protect your heart, trust yourself, and trust others in a new way, and being able to reset your mindset so that you do not default to your masculine side when things get a little challenging. All right, so you get access to both of those masterclasses as well as the accountability community. And here's the thing. If you implement everything that you learn, if you do the work, if you show me the work, because you have your implementation and action guide, if you show the work and you do not get results and you have not gotten value, I will not keep your money. I will 100% refund you because my goal here is not to make a whole bunch of money. My goal here is to make a whole bunch of impact, to help a whole bunch more women get free the way that I did and the way that my clients have. And if I can't support you to get free, then I want you to be able to take that and invest it somewhere where you can get free. So there's nothing to lose, only more to gain by getting the insight, by helping with the implementation, by getting all that you need to support those 4 key areas of your life and making sure that your foundation is solid. So that is the Feminine Success Masterclass. The dates are October 20th through the 23rd. So we're about 8 or 9 days away. Okay. The earlier you join, the more time you have to have access to the bonuses. So you get to start implementing that immediately. You also get those live trainings that I'm doing inside of the group by joining now. And you also have a longer time to be a part of our community. So whereas you would have the 30 days access, obviously you're going to have 39 days or 38 days access because you're there a lot longer. So that's the Feminine Success Masterclass. I'll go ahead and post the link for you guys one more time for those of you who are ready to get started now. I definitely recommend getting started now. If you have not been seeing my stories, women have started implementing the Create Your Course in 7 days already. They've started implementing the Feminine Success Reset. It is completely changing their mindset. Simply the questions that are being asked inside of the courses are helping them to realize that this thing that maybe you've never seen anyone else do or you don't have a model for, you actually can turn that into a monetizable product. I'll tell you, when I first started saying that I wanted to turn femininity into a business, people told me I was crazy. They said, no one's going to want to listen to that. Black women don't care about being feminine. They don't want to hear that. And now look, femininity is one of the biggest buzzwords ever. And I get to be at the head of that. There is something inside of you that will create a lane for you that is just for you. But you have to step into it and you have to have the strategy to step in it and stay in it. Because I know I'm not talking to just a few of y'all when I say some folks, some of y'all have started and stopped and started and stopped and started and stopped again and again. Had you started with a strategy and kept with it, you would be so much further along right now. And I'm telling you because I know. So now we can get into the Q&A portion. Let me find Zoom so I can stop the share. Okay, we can get into the Q&A portion. I see someone asked the question, what are the times and how long are the teachings and live Q&A sessions? So a Q&A session, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. A Q&A session can go long because I answer every question. If y'all have questions, I'm going to stay on the line until every single question is answered. The daily teachings are from 1 to 3 every day, so Central Standard Time, 1 to 3. There will be a watch party after the teaching, so you'll be able to watch it immediately after, and you'll have access to the replay for those who maybe have to go to work or have something else going on during that time. The Q&A sessions are in the evening, so I try to make sure that it's at a time where everyone will be able to show up. It's at 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern Time, and generally, just depending on how many of y'all there are, how many questions are on the floor, Q&A can go about 2 hours. So probably 8:30 or 7:30 to 9:30 is what that will look like. Are there any questions, ladies? Let me know. Was this valuable for y'all? Did it resonate? I saw a lot of people saying that it was valuable. Preach, yes, that you feel seen. Was this valuable? Did it support you in understanding why you being able to leverage your femininity, leverage your gifts that you have been given can be life-changing for you? I can tell y'all, because it's just my truth. Yes, my husband is a great provider. Yes, he is a great man. However, because he did not have a model for what elevation and growth could really look like, he just had this box of what he had seen growing up. He would not have been able to carry all of what we've been able to do because he'd never even seen it. Once you have a model you can follow, now that he has seen it, it's limitless. Some of you are waiting for your man, you're waiting for your father, your brother, your husband, whoever, your boss, to give you the green light on something that they have never even fathomed, that they have never even had a picture of. And men are visual. If they have never seen the picture, it doesn't make sense to them. And so unless it's a man who's highly in tune and connected to his feminine side, where he can tap into that intuition and he can tap into that imagination. Otherwise, if they have not seen it done before, often they don't really believe that it can be done. They're like, okay, that sounds nice, but get the model so that you can show the model. So that those of you who have sons can show your sons, so that those with daughters can show your daughters. Rochelle Ojeda says, I am a coach. I coach women now, but I work full-time too. My husband is an executive. I know this is missing in my life. I'm going to find a way to make it, even though I just paid for my other coach. Listen, I can't say what your other coach is or is not doing. However, if you need the strategy, make it happen. Make it happen. This was so awesome. Can you explain a little bit more about how the masterclass will lay out? So again, it will be morning or daytime and evening classes. So the daytime will be teaching from 1 to 3. The evening will be the Q&As, so that's live coaching, and we're going to follow the same format. So on the first day, we'll talk about mindset. We'll talk about understanding your feminine mindset and how to leverage that. The second day, we'll talk about time and energy management systems for your home life. The third day, we'll talk about that work life and elevating your impact in the world. How are you packaging what it is that you know so that you can present it to the world? And then on the fourth day, we'll talk about relationships. On the fifth day, we'll bring it all together. We'll review, and we'll also have a live Q&A on that day as well. You learned a lot. I'm so glad that you learned a lot, Carmel. Yes, it resonated with what I was feeling. I think this program will bind up my spirit of procrastination, listen, and help me to be more consistent in my everyday life. I get to take this class. You get to take this class. You absolutely do. Would this course be beneficial, Natasha? Would this course be beneficial if you're really struggling with recognizing your niche and your gifts? So absolutely. And the reason is because we're not just talking about your niche and your gifts. We're talking about you as a woman and learning yourself. And if you can learn yourself, then you understand what your gifts are. So yes, it will be beneficial. Is it available for women in the Caribbean? You must have missed it, Janelle. My my client, who is a Virgin Islander and who is currently in the Virgin Islands, is on right now. So yes, I have two clients, as a matter of fact. One is in Jamaica and one is in St. Thomas. So this is available for women all over the world. I have clients everywhere. Because it's virtual, because it's on Zoom, you can pop in from anywhere, anytime. Bianca says, I definitely need strategies. I am not in alignment with my femininity in a way that gets me effective results. Well, listen, make sure that you click that link and go ahead and sign up. Is this available on a payment plan? It is not. It is not, because this is this is about the lowest course option that I have right now. It is not available on a payment plan. However, it is well worth the investment. Mind is blown. My definition of femininity has been changed and I love it. Absolutely. I think so many of us have been taught that femininity is a weakness. Femininity is a liability. And it absolutely is not. If we look at the world right now, we see the world needs more feminine women. And not just women who think that being feminine means to sit down, shut up, and be quiet. Like, that's not what femininity is. We would never have a Deborah if that is what femininity was. We would never have a Ruth if that's what femininity was. We wouldn't have a Jael. You can read throughout the scriptures. We wouldn't have a Judith. All of the women who leveraged their femininity, who did the things that were brave, that were courageous, that seemed a little bit out of the box, and became salvation for our people. Our salvation has not always been men. Not to say that men are not valuable, because they are. They are amazingly valuable. But we do not focus enough on the fact that there have been women who have provided salvation as well. And you don't do that by being a doormat. You don't do that by sitting in a corner and shutting up and acting like your gifts are not important. You are registered. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So excited. Oh, Bianca, you are registered. So excited. So for those of you who are ready, make sure that you click the link. Make sure that you make the investment in yourself. Like I said, if you do not get results, if you do not get value, I am 100% about that refund life. Like, I am not, my reputation as a coach, as a businesswoman, is not worth $7.97 at all. But I'm so invested in making sure that you guys do get results, that you do get what you came for. After the masterclass has ended, what are the options to continue to grow? So after the masterclass has ended, if you are a good candidate to join us in my ongoing program, so that would be Feminine Success School, will be the next step, then you'll be offered the opportunity to join us in Feminine Success School. But if you're not going to implement over 30 days, then you definitely not going to implement in a year. And Feminine Success School is such a close-knit and intimate community of amazing women that not only do I want to make sure it's a good fit for you, but I want to make sure that you're a good fit for us. I'm lost, overwhelmed, and exhausted. I surrender, especially at this gift. Thank you so much. Well, listen, Kim. Listen, Kim, I know you've been around for a minute now. So I'm just going to challenge you to get out of being lost, get out of being overwhelmed, get out of being exhausted, and step into being supported. Step into having strategy, step into having the systems that you need. Yes, Kim. Your name is not unfamiliar, ma'am. You've probably been on every masterclass, every webinar. It is time. And a lot of women, it's not just you, Kim. I'm not picking on you. The thing is, a lot of women are like, yeah, every live stream you do, every class you do, every webinar you do, I'm there, But when it's time to make an investment, you're not stepping into that investment. That has nothing to do, I don't take offense because I know it's not that you don't trust me. It's time for you to trust you. It's time for you to trust that you are ready to break the addiction to struggle, the addiction to being exhausted. I know it kind of sounds like, well, I can't be addicted to exhaustion. Yes, you can, because it's a familiar feeling and it gives you an excuse and a reason why you can't do what you need to do for yourself. You can always say, I was too tired, I was exhausted. Time out for that. Time out for that. Does the 7-day launch your product program start after the masterclass? No, you get access to, it's a create your product program. You get access to that immediately. So if you sign up today, you get access to that today, and you can go through all of the trainings in that whenever. And you also have lifetime access to that. So while you have 30-day access to everything, or 10-day access to the replays of the masterclass, 30-day access to the accountability group, you get immediate access and lifetime access to the create your product. So yes, yes, yes. Are there any other questions, ladies? Y'all are really awesome. Let me sip some water because I've just been going. All right. Any other questions? I love your no nonsense attitude that's cloaked in love and sincerity. I love the way that you put that. I definitely have a no nonsense approach to life. When we think about femininity, a lot of times it is wrapped in sugar and fluff and all of these other things that are like, oh, be feminine and meditate and all of. I'm not about to give you none of that. None of that. Yes, I will help you to find the time you need to meditate, but we are in a very critical time as humanity and society right now. We do not need more women who think that femininity is about putting on some makeup and being pretty. You can do that. That's wonderful. But the world needs women who are effective. And my goal is to help you to be effective in every area of your life. My clients range from, I've had 19-year-olds join, and I've had 55-year-olds join. And all of them have gotten value and strategy and support and results. So don't feel like, oh, this is for young women or this is for that kind of, this is for all women. I see Kristen Coot has raised her hand. You can ask your question in the chat, Kristen. You are welcome for all of the information, Eden. You're bald and happy right now. Oh goodness, I am no nonsense and often misunderstood. And yes, we talk about that there is a way to be a no nonsense, cut to the chase, get straight to it type of woman, but also to not have that feel like you are attacking people, and not have people kind of misinterpret it and feel like, oh, she's angry, she's bitter, she's this, that, and the third, because that's really not what it's about. Knowing how to be well received is a part of being a feminine woman. Career woman who loves what she does and would like to be more feminine and heal, but does not have the current apt for entrepreneurship. Thank you for sharing your gifts and purpose. Absolutely. So, Kirsten, this is not just for women who desire to be entrepreneurs. However, what I will say is it's always good to have more than one stream of income. So it does address that. But this is not just for women who desire to be entrepreneurs. When we talk about the work-life piece, we also talk about your career, your relationship with coworkers, your relationship to your income, and how you are positioning yourself. So several of my clients are in the STEM field and they're not interested in being entrepreneurs. However, it is important to build your personal brand so that in any instance, if layoffs start happening or anything along those lines, you are highly sought out because of the personal brand that you've built. And so I do talk about that. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to have a powerful personal brand that makes an impact. So, are there any other questions? So, I do hope to see those of you who want to be entrepreneurs or even don't want to be entrepreneurs. Those of you who want to be stay at home moms or don't. Those of you who want a powerful relationship, which we all do, powerful relationships all over our lives that reflect our value and our worth. If that's what you desire, if you desire to be able to connect with your feminine side and show up in that way, then this is definitely for you. And I look forward to supporting you. Yes, you are also in the STEM field. I have several clients who are in the STEM field, and we don't talk about entrepreneurship. Eden, you've been in the feminine success trial that you just went through, and entrepreneurship was not your goal necessarily. However, entrepreneurship is not all we talk about at all. I am a client and I'm in STEM as well. See, yeah, I have several clients who are Black women in STEM, and Black women in career paths in general, not just women who want to be entrepreneurs. But like I said, the feminine thrives in a secure environment, and having that security means that no one can just take your job away from you. No one can just take your income away from you. No one can just decide, you know what, we don't need you anymore, or we're going in a different direction, because you have created a path for yourself and a lane for yourself where you are always desired and you are always compensated. Yes, yes, yes. So, with that, Eden said, very true, that put me at ease. Yes, I am not the coach that's going to tell you to quit your job. Listen, keep your job if you love your job. All right. However, if you can look at your life and say, I'm not being my best, I'm not living out my full potential in every area, then this is definitely for you, because a job is only one part of who you are. And that's why we take a whole woman approach. A job is just one part of who you are. And oftentimes, when we are missing those other pieces, we throw ourselves into our work and we become excellent in our work. But then the work is all that there is. You go home and you don't feel loved, you don't feel warmth, you don't have the relationships around you to share that success at the end of the day. And so, if that's you, if you're ready for that kind of support, I invite you to join us. Click the link to reserve your spot, and I will talk to y'all soon. Y'all have an amazing night.